Hey, sixth grade. So today we are going to pay attention to how cultures are portrayed in stories. Today I want to teach you that expert fantasy readers not only pay close attention to the cultures the stories that they are reading come from, but they also pay attention to how other cultures are portrayed. They also take note of how similar characters, settings, even plot lines vary across fantasy stories from different cultures. By paying attention to those things, readers can learn more about their own and other cultures. So let's have a quick turn and talk. What is culture? Ready? Go. All right, so culture is a combination of many different things that make up that culture. Right? That can include celebrations, folk art, food, um, the way you're raised, the way you act at home, your lifestyle, your language, the way you dress, the food you eat. Did I mention that already? Your mannerisms, and so much more. So these are some of the things that I heard you talk about. I want to share with you an experience I had while listening to a discussion the other day in class. Some students were noticing some interesting things about dragons. Sometimes dragons were depicted differently in different types of fantasy novels. They noticed in some of the books written by authors of Eastern cultural descent that dragons were wise and often good, if not particularly friendly. And that in most of the books they read by authors of Western cultural descent, dragons were more evil and cruel. This got them thinking about how culture and so many fantasy stories seem to be very connected to cultures and traditions. Some of them are very old, and some of them are more related to our current world. So one student decided to do some more research. In our last lesson with Miss Julie, we talked about that. They did so much more research about Eastern and Western cultures and histories to see if there might be some other kinds of cultural differences, not just for dragons. They learned that there was a type of war called the Crusades that took place in Europe and parts of what is known as the Middle East. The club started to not book club, but they started to wonder if there was any relationship between how dragons were included in stories symbolically. Like maybe some Eastern tradition held dragons in such high esteem that Western tradition included them in stories as the enemy, as a way to symbolize their dislike for each other. So maybe, authors are using their cultures to throw shade at other cultures. You might want to research into that for more interesting jots. So, for today's lesson, we are going to continue paying attention to how cultures are portrayed in stories. And then we're going to start to consider how characters, settings, and plot lines may vary across story cultures. So, teacher note, be especially careful to notice both the author's culture and the character's culture. They might be different. So let me know what you think, and I can't wait to read in your jots. Have a great day.